Hey Shooby-Doodlers, if you like that really kind of soft photographic effect, you want to get yourself one of these, which is a paper stump or a torchon or a tortillion or a tortillon, whatever you want to call it. But let's not talk about it. Let's find out what you do with it. Okay, I'm going to use a 6B pencil, and you can, I think some people might use like a 2H or something to do the outline, but I want this to be able to smudge in, so I'm going to draw a circle. I'm going to show you how to draw a sphere in 3D and smudging it. And so, you just want to start off very, very lightly, because when you press hard on the paper, I'm using a 6B here, which is very soft pencil. When you press hard, then the graphite gets ingrained into the paper. If you just press very, very lightly, then you're just leaving graphite on the surface, so you can move it about and you can erase it. Look here, so it's really easy to erase if I've kind of done it a bit too much there, because it's just graphite placed on the surface. Now what I'm going to do is to put some shade in, so the light is kind of coming in this direction, and I'm going to put some shade around on this side of the sphere. It's not a circle, it's going to be a sphere. And I'm going to get the stump, and basically you're going to start just pushing graphite around, and around this edge here you get what's called an ambient reflected light. So it's light from the table. This is going to be the bright light here, so you want a bright shiny spot around there. But then there's light reflected back underneath from the table or whatever it is that it's standing on. So it doesn't kind of go dark all the way to the edges. It's kind of getting smoothing out. So all the time you're working to just smooth it out. And the reason that you're using this instead of your fingers, you can use your fingers, you can do whatever. The reason that we're doing it this way is if you use your fingers, you got all these oils and stuff in your fingers, and then that kind of gets in to the paper, and it just kind of confuses things by getting the oil in there. Whereas this is keeping it really, really nice and clean. All you're doing is paper and graphite. You're just pushing graphite around on the paper, and it's not special paper or anything. It's just cartridge or bristol paper, whatever you call it, wherever you live. You've probably got a different name for it. Now this is going to be the top. I'm just going to turn it round, and what I'm going to do is do quite dark piece there, and I'm just pressing slightly lighter as I'm going up, and here again it's quite dark. So this is upside down at the moment. I'll turn it around and explain it. So this is the table here, and there's going to be a shadow here kind of going like that. So I'm going to shade that in, and you'll notice I've put my pencil on its side. I'm not drawing with a point, I'm kind of drawing sideways, so I'm using the edge of the lead, the edge of the pencil lead graphite, shading in where the shadow is going to be, and then I'm going to work that in and try and keep it nice and tight to the edge here. But I want it all to have a really soft, focused, kind of photographic-y look as well. So that's now coming out to the edge of the, where I've drawn that kind of what's it called? parabola, ellipse kind of the shadow. So it's sort of coming out there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in kind of wood grain effect on the table like that. So this is sitting on a table, and I can just put that in. Very simple, easy kind of wood grain effect like that. So it gives us a feeling of it being on a surface. So, and then we can just very, very lightly rub that in with the stump, and that means that we can get up to the edge and have a bit of contrast. So there's a bit of shade next to where we want it to look light. So you need to kind of plan ahead a bit. And I suppose another thing that we can do is with each of these lines is kind of smooth them out a little bit, just to make them look a bit more interesting. And then here, what we want to do is to blend all this in here, but we want to make it fade upwards. And I'm putting this shade in behind here again to make the sphere stand out and to make the light shiny edges stand out. And I'm doing this really quite quickly, and you can take all day over it and get it absolutely perfect if you want. Okay, while I'm at it, how do you sharpen up your tortillon, torchon as well, I think they're called. Get a piece of sandpaper and you can sharpen up the point like that, and if it's got really dirty, you can clean it up like that on sandpaper as well. And if you want a really sharp point, you know, sort of maybe you want to just cut into that with a sharp scalpel blade, something like that, a really sharp blade, and that will get you a point again. What I'm trying to do here is to put some tone around the edge of the sphere so that the shiny edges show up. I'm blending the graphite that is here and pushing it kind of upwards to the top there, and then just generally smoothing it out. Well, I'm just going to add a little bit more graphite in here because I don't feel this is quite dark enough, and I might just draw right up to the edge there and make that much harder. Press more softly as I go to the edges. I feel this needs to be darker to build up more contrast underneath there, and then blending, and I'm kind of pushing and pulling and kneading and just kind of getting the edges a bit softer and blending it all out. I think I'll call that it for the moment, but you can see what I'm trying to do. There you are. Get yourself a blender, a stump, a tortillon, or a torchon, whatever you want to call it, and just play with it and have a lot of fun. You know, like everything, you just need to practice, and it'll come to you the more you practice and work at it. Good luck, have fun. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and if you're new to drawing, why not go and learn how to draw a cube as well as a sphere, or just have a go at the mystery drawing. Either way, make sure you're subscribed to the Shoe Rainer Drawing channel for new drawing videos every Monday and Friday, and why not go and visit my website and see what I'm getting up to. In the meantime, keep drawing, practice, and I'll see you next time. You take care now. Bye bye.